Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're talking about Governor Branstad, Ted Cruz, the Iowa caucuses, and we're going to get in a little bit more in-depth caucus talk here in a couple of minutes. But one of the questions I had about, you're talking about Branstad as a boss, but now this all happened last week. Wednesday, Thursday-ish. I think Wednesday is when all these comments started coming out. So, you know, talking about maybe 12, 11 days before caucus, and Branstad starts coming out hard against Ted Cruz. Is that going to be enough time to penetrate? Is that going to be enough time to resonate with people or to peel any support away from Ted Cruz? Doug, I just think it might be a little too late for that.
Well, keep in mind, things are always squirrely. Newt Gingrich, a couple of years ago, was, far and away the winner. He was standing at the central podium at the debate there at Drake. He was at one point, I believe, double digits ahead of everybody else. And Bob Vander Plaats endorses Rick Santorum. Now it's a completely different thing, and I believe Newt came in third or fourth. I can't remember, but he didn't win it. So the thing is all this a lot of times is driven by evangelical conservatives. And the Fox News poll that I just saw, but it came out this weekend, shows that evangelical Christians are going to be staying home, and that's only going to be about 45% of the voters that turn out. Well, I'm going to tell you, every year I've ever done a caucus, and this is the first one I think I've missed, every year that I've gone to caucus, it's all my Christian conservative friends that are there. The caucus I go to, it's 100% Christian conservative. There's not a non-evangelical in the group, right? So, and I know I'm from a conservative area, but that's going to be true across the state. So I believe it's going to be between 60 and 65% of the evangelicals are going to show up. And they're going to support, surprisingly, either Cruz or Trump. They're not really going to support Rubio. They may support Carson more, but a lot of times, at the last minute, they go, well, I want my vote to count, and they'll pitch in with somebody else. So I think it's going to be up in the air all the way to the end. So that's my opinion. I don't think it's too late to split the vote, but it does show that, maybe down the road, and maybe in Texas, something bad will happen. I can't see that happening, but maybe Texas, something bad happens. Maybe New Hampshire, he gets crushed. And then you go through the rest of it. Maybe in New York he doesn't do well. Well, so I think that's part of the plan.
Well, let's spend the next few minutes talking about kind of our thoughts about what's going to happen on February 1st. Who we, maybe some predictions or.
I want to talk about exactly how much of a boss Branstad is again.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
This guy comes in out of the blue, wipes out Bob Vander Plaats. Doesn't just come in and it's a real tight race. Comes in, stomps them like grapes, gets everything lined up, does exactly what he wants, shoves through his promises, and that's the end of it. Then he turns around, looks at the Libertarian Party going, I don't like that. I'm going to crush every one of these precinct captains. I'm going to crush every single Libertarian that has taken over my party machine. And he did it. It's not that he went out and it was a big old fight. He just stepped in like that cockroach in my room. He just took his shoe and started smashing. That was it. And nobody said a word. Now, he goes along this 10% gas tax. He's offending his entire power base by doing it. No conservative I know liked it. And in fact, we were talking to Jake Heifel, and he was talking about, that was a complete load of crap. That's my phrase, not his phrase. He said it nicely. And you know what? Nobody said a word. It just went through, and that's all there is to it. There is no other governor, including Mayor Daley, that runs a machine better, tighter, or well-oiled than our very own Governor Branstad. And here lately, I haven't agreed with him, but you cannot take away the power that man wields. And to sit there and go, well, just because you won a few elections, I would be sitting down having a talk with that guy saying, I appreciate you being the attack dog. Do not piss that guy off any further.
That is the most tin-eared, tone-deaf thing that guy could have said.
Oh, yeah, and because Governor Branstad knows all the other governors. keep in mind, he served for a long time as the chairman of the Governors Association. I mean, so do not mess with that governor. They just simply move you out of the way. What are you going to do to stop me? I'm going to move you out of the way. Honest to God. And I'm one of these people that think, man, I wish he'd run for president, but he doesn't want to do that. So let's get back to what you wanted to talk about. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want people to know exactly how much of a boss our governor is.
So
don't ever take his soft-spoken approach as weakness.
So I wanted to talk at the last couple of minutes of the hour about where to go to find your caucus site and what it means to caucus for the Democrats or caucus for the Republicans. Talk a little bit about that process, kind of educate some people. But Doc, going into the caucus on February 1st, what are some predictions that you have for the Republican Party?
Well, I'm going to say that I don't think Trump is going to do as well as everybody thinks he's going to do. I think there's a lot of people saying that Trump is going to dominate this. I'm not so sure. It will depend on. We don't have a lot of minorities in Iowa. Mm-hmm. A lot of minorities are breaking for Trump. They want him. The Hispanics, the large, I think 45% of people that are of Hispanic descent that have been polled say we're going to go with Trump. There's a lot of surprisingly women that are supporting Trump. There's a lot of moderates that are supporting Trump, and there's a lot of the Duck Dynasty crowd, for lack of a better term, that are supporting Trump. But the problem is these people have to show up. Number two, they have to sit there and stop and go, well, hold on, I really am voting for this guy for president at this point. And three, they have to go, well, hold on, can he really beat the Democratic opponent down the road? Now, I'm pretty confident that Cruz can. I'm pretty confident that if Carson would cut out the Carsonisms, that he could. And if Rubio got the nomination, I think he could. I think there are 3 Republican candidates who could win. But I don't think that Trump support is going to be as widespread as everybody thinks. I think that there's going to be a lot of people showing up for Cruz. I think he's really motivated that evangelical vote. And I think that my prediction is it's going to be Cruz 1, Rubio 2, and Trump 3, and Carson 4. That's my prediction. I don't know if I'm going to be right or not.
That's why it's prediction, man. That's what we're doing. But Ben,
what do you think on the Democratic side? We got about a minute.
Oh boy, it's tough because of how it's tightened up. But I think that the Democrats are really they love Bernie, but at the end of the day, I think they're going to vote with their heads, not their hearts, and they're gonna get behind Hillary. Her machine, her organization is better here. She's got offices all over the place, and I think almost if she doesn't have an office in all 99 counties, I'd be surprised. She did the town hall last night. She was just masterful as far as being a poised and polished politician that I see her taking it this year, winning like she couldn't do in 2008.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to come back. We're going to finish up with what the caucuses are like for Republicans and Democrats, and where you can go do your caucusing here. It's a very important process. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Be back right after this break.